All right, guys. So we just had one of the most anticipated earnings of the year today. It is the February the 25th. We had one of the most anticipated earnings. Nvidia finally reported earnings. Now we had high expectations for Nvidia earnings. We figured that this would be a pretty good earnings report, and there was a few key things. So right now, the data centers and the chips are where the chip technology, data storage is where the money is flowing. So as always, we like to hold stocks long term. We like to invest in our index funds, but Nvidia is one of the stocks that I'm a long term holder in. I've been in stock for a while, and my only regret is that I didn't buy more when I first started buying shares in this company. So Nvidia had better than expected earnings and revenue. They beat on top and bottom line, and the stock was up in after hours, but the stock did slide down in the aftermarket, which I think it was up somewhere close to about 3 to 4%. So the stock did very well. We had high expectations for this. Along with these, we have SanDisk, TSM, AMD. These stocks kind of all move with, and the market pretty much moves with Nvidia. So now that the market has sold off, because we still have the fear of Trump with tariffs, this may be an opportunity to buy this stock. The stock had such high expectations, and after hours, the stock pulled back. It's went from about 196 to as high as around 205. Now the stock is back, I think it's around 196 in the after hours. And the thing about uh, Nvidia is they are in the AI data center boom with people like Meta and Amazon, but they actually making the chips, the GPUs that we need for data centers. And just to give you an idea, the data center revenue was up 75% from a year ago to $62.3 billion, billion with a B. So $62.3 billion from a year ago. And that revenue was in the data center business. So the data center business is, of course, one of NVIDIA's most profitable and their biggest sector, which is also the thing about that is it's means that they have to have profitable, continuous growth in data centers. Once that slows down, then the business kind of changes. You see the stocks sliding down. So on the earnings side per share, the earnings per share, I'm looking at reading off my notes. Earnings per share was $1.62 versus $1.53 expected. So the stock has been doing well. And then they're up from last year. This quarter, a year ago, they were at 39.39 billion dollars in a quarter. So that is a big jump year over year. But Nvidia is just one of those stocks that it kind of owns the market. It's like the main big dog up there. With, it's bigger now than Apple, but I still like the Apple, Meta, VU, SPY, DTI as my main holdings. But like along with those index, like the mix in tech stocks with those. To me, the market for me is primarily index funds, tech stocks, and a little bit of banking, JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. So then the that net revenue of $43 billion, and 91% of that revenue came from data centers. And then they also build on guidance. So guidance is when a company says, this is what we expect to do in the future. This is what we do. We're going to do in the next quarter, the rest of the year, mainly the next quarter. The guidance was they had an expectation of $72.6 billion, which is already crazy. And they got up to about $78 billion. So they're expecting $78 billion in revenue, which is absolutely crazy. And this quarter, we're at 68.13. So they still expect to grow even more than where they are right now. And Nvidia is one of those stocks that we have cycles where it goes up, it hit a near all-time high, then it'll pull back. So kind of the resistance area where I want to buy. I'm looking to get into the stock more. It's like the 175 to 172. Once it gets to that 172 range, the stock has been bouncing. Not to say that it could not change again, but that's just where I'm looking to buy. I'm not saying that you guys should buy. I can give you financial advice, but Nvidia is one of my core holdings along with the SPY and VU. Also, this stock is in the QQQ index, so it's a large share of a lot of our indexes. So when this stock doesn't do well, of course, you see the indexes pull back. So that may be a short-term, very short-term opportunity for me personally. Maybe not you guys, but for me, maybe do a little bit of shorting. I see the stock pulling back. just to make a little bit of money when the stock is underperforming. So it would take this shaking up if we think that you've had talks of Trump data, his global tariffs didn't go as planned, so the Supreme Court said that they were illegal. So he said we're going to go global tariffs from 10% to 15% now. So of course that's going to affect the market. A little bit of scare there, and then data center. Like I said, the bar is set so high; they have to do so well every earnings period. Every year they have to set the bar higher and higher. The revenue has to grow because when it does not grow, TSM, all the other companies are affected. AMD, and to me, AMD is like um, the stepbrothers. It's not on the same level as Nvidia, but it is a good stock. I've been in this stock for a long time. I believe since like $7, and it's currently around $210. When Nvidia gets below that 200 range, it's kind of a buy range. So I like to look to buy. So do not be afraid to get into AMD if you want to hold this long term because they are in a chip sector. But I could see this stock probably going to make like the 150 range because AMD is just that kind of stock that it has the chip benefactor. I guess it benefits from the chip sector. And it'll go up, but I do see the stock pull back. I think it's been a high of around 255 to 260 range. Now it's back to 210, so it's not something I like to buy at the all-time high. But Nvidia is a very attractive stock. This stock is one of the best in the market right now. I still have faith in Apple. Apple, I believe, is nearing a 52-week high. I think Apple is around 265 to 270 range currently. I've been in Apple for a long time. It's another stock that I'm holding. I just think that Nvidia took the top spot, but Apple to me is not dead. It has about a 2.6, I believe, market cap, $1 trillion market cap. And along with that, also Meta. But I believe that Apple, because it has a services business, has the phones that we know people love iPhones, they love the services business. It has that recurring revenue, which I love. Recurring revenue, people that are vendors, customers that are going to continuously buy this, the products, the services, the iPads, all those things. So to me, Apple is a great business, but Nvidia, I will say, is the top dog. But just be careful with the valuation. Of course, the valuation is made up of the stock price times how many outstanding shares, which is now currently about $4.6 billion. So that valuation seems expensive to you, and you want to wait to maybe get a 10% pullback, then around $4.2 trillion just to gauge is about where you would be looking to get into the stock if we had that pullback. I just wanted to report to you guys that Nvidia earnings was the topic of discussion. The earnings per share, $1.62 versus $1.53. It was a beat. Revenue was $68.13 billion versus $66.21 billion. So the stock is looking good. Even though we have this pullback, this may be opportunities to buy, to get into Nvidia if you have not already. I mean, it's personally around the 175 range. If I didn't own any, is where I would be buying the stock. I see that you guys have to, but just the spot that I would look to buy. So after we had so much hype around it. I'm sure options premiums going up, the options calls we had on it, it did push it up in the after hours, and whatever reason, there was an AI scare. They thought that software was being wiped out. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, even said that he thinks that software is not dead, believes it still has a future. So we may see the software stocks come back. Another ETF I like is IGB, which is a software stock ETF. I'm going to be watching that stock. ETF is down about 20 or 30% right now. So the software stocks are getting hammered. SPY is just trading in that range where it's still like in that 680 to 695 range. It's been stuck in for a while, but still, even at the highs or lows, find ways to not eat out, not buy shoes, not buy clothes, get very expensive car payments. Take this money, invest this money, because I'm seeing more and more people that are getting in their 50s, 60s, 70s that do not have money, didn't put this money away. We're living in a golden age and opportunity where you guys can be good stewards of your money, spend your money wisely, invest your money, so that when you get older, you will have the means and the access to these funds, hold these stocks and these indexes for a long time, which I'm a long-term investor. So I do some short-term trading, but I also believe that for me personally, yeah, I'm holding for the long term. I'm going to hold this for my family for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. I don't plan on selling this, but I'm leaving this, most of it to my kids. So you guys, just make sure that you are using your resources wisely, what God has given you, be a good steward of it. We can give some away. Do not waste it. Make sure you guys are investing every single month find ways you can cut out of your budget as far as eating fast food, which is not good for you. Get a $10 gym membership. Workout custom expenses there. Cars. I'm gonna do a whole video about cars, about my opinion, what price range to buy. I'm gonna show you some ridiculously uh, cheap cars that I've seen that have depreciated so much. But yes, today's topic subject is Nvidia. Nvidia is on fire. Stock did pretty well today. We'll see what it does tomorrow. I will report back to you guys, let you know how the stock turns out, what it does as far as performance this week. If you guys new to the channel, subscribe right now. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop the comments in the video, in the comments down below. Ask me any questions, and I will try to get those answers for you. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.